Hello and welcome back. We're going to be getting right into the action here at the Hellcase Cup 8. It's Nemiga's opportunity to take this one in 2. They came back 12 rounds in a row to win that first map, their opponent's choice, and now they've gone to Mirage, a choice of their own to try and close this one out.
Yeah, Nemiga will be wanting this one to be a bit more one-sided, though. It had to be the 16-14 win from that massive comeback on the previous one. But here on their map choice, I think they'll be assuming they've got a bit of a better chance on this one. Decoy thrown outside of the map, in case you were wondering what that was on the mini-map there. The nades are still in hand for Nemiga, but Krad has got into another sneaky spot, and ooh, he doesn't land the shots to begin with. Jo takes him out, and this is the danger for Hard Legion. If they lose this pistol round here, after losing so many rounds in a row on the last one, that could put them in a really tough position just on the mental game, just in the mental warfare side of things. svyat hears all these steps, though, so he knows it's likely to be an A play. The rotate can begin, and Hard Legion will set themselves up with plenty of players ready to hold this A-bomb site.
Yeah, they've got the gamble, but they don't have the manpower. If they can hit the shots, they might be able to do it, but there's still a couple of smokes to fall. MDS is almost caught. He has been spotted, and that's the information they needed. They're actually going to push through the edge of these smokes as the T's look to try and run themselves into the site. Throne has not been cleared. Jo snaps back, but it doesn't seem to matter. It's left on to just Box and Spiidi, and well, now just Spiidi. A 1 versus 3, no real hope. Good pistol round for Hard Legion, and a great start to the map.
Yeah, svyat just heard all those steps coming back towards A, so everyone rotates into position, and Nemiga weren't ready for that many CTs to be waiting for them. So I think Hard Legion getting that pistol round was always going to be important just to get off to a good start, just to make sure that they can rebuild some of that confidence that might have been lost from the previous one. And Nemiga, without the bomb plant, take a full save on almost all their players. Jo was the one man who got some kills on the pistol, so he can buy a deg with that extra cash that he was able to recover. And it's really up to him to do something in this round. And, wow, MDS fighting mid with the Glock. Not sure what he was hoping for there. But should be Hard Legion's round here pretty easily. Jo's just looking for shots, and, well, he's landed a shot with the deg.
Every kill is an extra rebuy, and it does get a little bit scary for a second. 2 kills already a successful round for Nemiga with what they invested into this one. Bomb plant unlikely because they left it behind. Can Lollipop make things any more costly? He's going to upgrade to the deg. MP9 not really going to be too useful to him. Going to look for the shots onto kinqie, but won't get anything done just yet. The flank is coming round, and they know he doesn't have the bomb, so they don't really need to fight this one. Just wanting to get this round over and done with, and eventually svyat will kill him on the cross. It's going to be 2-0 in favor of Hard Legion. An important start to the match, but this is where the going gets tough.
Yeah, out come the AKs for Nemiga. Nades aren't too bad either. They've got 3 smokes already. Spiidi's got money, so he will buy some nades of his own. Yeah, not many pieces of utility missing here for Nemiga. Pretty good buy, all things considered. As for Hard Legion, they stick with 1 MP9, but if they lose this round, they will probably be broken. They don't have much money left behind here, so Nemiga with an early chance to try and find some success, and Box is already going towards his favorite position on the map, which is connector. But look at Hard Legion, they're very ready for it. The 2 nades land onto Box, take him down to 45 still potential, I guess, in round number 4 for Hard Legion, especially with the pistols. Throne doing a good job at getting Box out of the round early, and now he can rotate back to A. He's comfortable that mid is open because his teammate has pushed through. Jo gets one with the MAC-10, but the spray onto the second is not good enough. Into a 3 versus 3, and those smokes are going to fade eventually, so Nemiga need these kills, and they need them now. It's into a 2v2. Make that a 1v2. MDS has got to bail his team out. The bomb is dropped in front of him, but both CTs are low on health, so that gives MDS a much better chance.
Yeah, he's got time as well. Last time we were talking about how it was ticking away. Instead, they've gone for a much faster play. He's got to expect this player in the corner, and he will. An easy kill and a chance to get that bomb down. In fact, he's going to plant for connector. This actually worked in his favor. I think he's heard the footsteps of Krad, though. Just going to opt to plant it a little bit safer instead. Krad is going to edge his way further forward. It's the two players that really performed well in the last map, facing off against each other. And in fact, he's going to get back in towards the jungle. This makes things awkward for Krad because he doesn't have a kit, so the time will be ticking away. He's going to try and bait out that defusal, but MDS, I don't think he's going to be falling for this one. Doesn't necessarily need to peek, but he'll go for it, and Krad hits the shot. Fantastic round from him. Plenty of time to get the defusal, and Hard Legion break straight back.
Yeah, Hard Legion win another one of these rounds. They shouldn't have. Nemiga with the bomb plant still have a good amount of money, though. So even though Nemiga lose the round, it doesn't put them in a completely terrible position. But again, this is one that Hard Legion probably shouldn't have been winning. Box was going alone into connector to begin with. It looks like Hard Legion have a really good read, have a really good understanding that Box is going to be playing in and around mid, and they've already counted him in a couple of these early rounds. That's what got them the man advantage to begin with. And then once they killed Box, they were very aware that it was only probably the one man at mid. They started to make sure they had the rest of the players waiting on the A site. Trades were good enough to win them the round. So Hard Legion get up to a 3-1 lead. But as I was suggesting, Nemiga's money remains good into this one. The MP9 of svyat actually gets a kill there, but Lollipop's able to trade. And Lollipop wants to take away this AK, just making sure that can't be recovered. 1-for-1 trade at the start of this one, and MDS gets caught with poor timing, thrown there to deny him.
And with what we've seen so far, that's not the man you want to be losing. Been the best player for Nemiga so far, although Lollipop's still standing, and we know what this man could do. The thing is, I feel like Hard Legion have done a lot better at countering his mischief. Maybe playing with Krad for such a long time has almost made them aware for a lot of the things that would be planned. kinqie's got to be careful here, though. A jump up on the bench would be risky. Misses his shot, but he gets away with it. Keeps the man advantage going. Spiidi doesn't seem interested in him. Just going to go continuing his push towards the jungle. So many angles left to check with the bomb in hand. Where did that shot go? I guess he was moving a little bit. Could have just waited a second for Lollipop's Molotov to move the player out, but instead wanted the face, loses the face, and they lose a round. 4-1 for Hard Legion. They get that start that they desired, and for the T side, well, they can invest a bit.
Yeah, investing about $1,000 each, maybe a bit little more, maybe a bit less, depending on the player. So here's that shot. I guess he was moving, because it looked pretty dead on. Either way, it is a round where Nemiga only have the pistols. MDS just was spotted by svyat. Throne should be aware of it, and there we go. svyat takes the fight. There's a second man in Palace. He's not ready. He's out in the open. How has svyat got away with his life there, though? He was all the way committed to stairs with two players firing at him, and he survives on a sliver of health. So Hard Legion get themselves a clean man advantage. And Nemiga will be bringing the bomb back towards mid. kinqie gets another kill in the meantime, though. And Krad should be able to win this fight. Oh, never mind. Jo takes him down with the Tech 9.
They've got to be careful here, because a couple of players now tagged up. You don't want to give the extra space. Jo has not reloaded this gun, so 5 bullets is all he'll have. And Lollipop's actually managed to find his way onto short. This should be a freebie. That'll be the kill into the site. And now they don't have actually any defenders watching in this direction, mainly because svyat's so low, he can't actually go for a proper face. It's only if they cross into the site that they'll have an opportunity. So as a minimum, this is going to be a bomb plant. an AK retrieved for Lollipop as well. Sure, he's low, but that's not so much of an issue. And then you've got Box making sure that they can't come from short. So this is actually a really good setup. The only problem is the weaponry and the health. It's going to come down to these peaks. Nice work from Jo, but now he has to pretty much do everything. He had some big rounds towards the end of the half, but he knows he needs to get aggressive, and he succeeds on the first, but he does get taken down for the second. Now Rage facing off in the 1 versus 1. The plant position will probably give away the game, as he should be able to guess where Box is going to be hiding, knowing that this tap comes in. He may just look to try and stick it after this, but the fact is the time is gone, and Nemiga have managed to steal around. Jo needs a big pat on the back after that one, and in fact, even going to try and kill off Rage at the end. He might just find him. That's fantastic from Box.
He may not get a gun, but just the damage alone is impressive. And that initial fight from Krad, I feel like is one that he maybe should have been winning out. But then you see Hard Legion just getting caught off guard by some of the fast plays, by some of the fast aggression onto the B site. They didn't react quickly enough. Some of their players were low on health, which is why they fell so fast. And the odds from Unicorn suggesting that Nemiga are the favorites, as you would expect, considering they won their opponent's pick. It's not been the ideal start for Nemiga here on Mirage, but now that they've won that round, they've got a chance to close this one out. Krad just lands the Deke shot through the smoke, though. NDS will not really know what's hit him in that round. He didn't even get to see Krad, and Krad goes again. This man is so good with the dig. He makes it a third. Krad is single-handedly carrying his team through this round. It's a 4K. Krad is unbelievably good with this dig. Landing 4 shots. kinqie gets one of his own. That's just ridiculous. You can't do anything against that.
I just want to watch the replay.
What is this?
I don't want to. I don't want to say a word. Like, it's just ridiculous. So clean with every single shot. Krad makes them look like fools. And the worst thing is as well, that was the chance for Nemiga to really build into this match, to get their finances rolling. They're going to have to go for a round with basically nothing. It's only Jo on a Tech 9. It's got to be so frustrating, especially on their map choice, to be dominated like that by one man. svyat, though, has got to be careful. It's going to be an awkward start to the round. They're going to try and just pummel them with deeks themselves. I'm not sure I can cope with another round like this, as they are going to go peeking in, just trying to allow for the bomb to cross, which they will succeed in doing. Rage just trying to get some smokes down, just to hold on, but he falls as well. A man advantage stuck, but no real weaponry retrieved. And now Krad and kinqie have to do it again, this time with a disadvantage.
Yeah, it's been more of a team effort from Nemiga, but kinqie's got Box in the back. Turns it into a 2v2. There are still nades left for Hard Legion as well. Molly goes to clear that position. They now know that both Nemiga players are going to be towards jungle and connector, and kinqie can try and hold this down. Bomb is still not been tapped. Finally, Krad gets on it. kinqie falls, but Krad's on the bomb. Oh, Krad is going to be taken out at the end. Jo gets the spam through. Nemiga win back with one of their own. This game is hard to predict,
Illogical.
We'll say. Yes.
Logical is what I would say. It doesn't make any sense what rounds are being won, and well, the last one was off one man's individual brilliance. Jo does at least save them again with that Tech 9. Seems to be doing pretty damn well in this match. I think his resurgence on Overpass has set him up to have a good Mirage, and well, that's exactly what you want to be seeing from this man. Now we do have, well, that is an odd purchase. kinqie's gone for a FAMAS no armor. I almost want to be a little bit sick in my mouth. That's gross. Especially with how well these guys use deagles and SMGs. I don't know why that wouldn't be your go-to. Jo's got to be careful. He's being baited in. He expects it, but he still doesn't win the duel. In fact, it's actually kinqie getting a kill with his FAMAS no armor. Lollipop's peeking out. He'll find the first. And now the wraparound from connector is going to make this impossible for Throne to survive. It's left onto that AWP at the back, and he's already being closed out. Flashbangs just leaving him blind consistently. Now the CTs don't have much money. They are going to try and retake this, but with no kit, one smoke, and very little else. It seems like Rage has already made the decision to save. Not sure what the plan is for the remainder. I imagine the same.
Nice shot by Rage, but it's not going to make a difference to the outcome of the round. Hard Legion have already made up their minds here. they've already accepted the fact that they won't be winning this one. Continues to be a back and forth start to this game. I would say that now Nemiga have a chance to, again, try and break that CT economy, although Krad gets another kill at the end, so Nemiga will have to reinvest a fair amount as well. You can see, though, Hard Legion, even with the 3 save guns, won't have a perfect buy into this one. I think their money's bad enough where they just force into this. With a $2,400 losing bonus on the Hard Legion side, saving doesn't put you in a great spot, so yeah, they will be buying FAMAS and an MP9 dropped on over. They do have the advantage of having an AWP though, and JO actually has a UMP in his hands for this round, even though he had more money, as they look to go quickly onto this B site.
Yeah, I love how Lollipop's walking. Like, Box hasn't let go of W key. He finally has to. Either that or maybe he's just running into the wall and doesn't quite realize smoke going to be going down. Now, I expected it to be JO going first. Like, basically, if you have a UMP in this scenario, normally that SMG jumps out the window, and then the rest of the players jump out straight ahead of them on towards the van. But JO is instead just going to be lurking in this angle. Get owned in the last round, so maybe just wants to have a weapon that will be less of a loss if they were to give it up. Run boost just to check the right-hand side of the window. I like this from the CTs. They're going to be getting aggressive. Take some map control away. Don't allow for Nemiga to have free roam of the map. They haven't been able to do it on B this round, so they've decided to do it on A. It also seems like they freed up Krad a little bit to basically play where he wants in different rounds. So this time he is going to be on that ramp, which does mean the B site's a little bit more open than he might like.
35 seconds left. Still lots of nades for Nemiga. They're not lining too many of them up right now, though. Just a couple of flashes. There we go. Now the smoke's coming in. Now the Molotov as well. kinqie might get the timing right, but Box wins the first fight. Drone on the B site. Goes down early. svyat now has to try and hold alone with the FAMAS. Line up onto 2 is good, but he's out of ammo. And I think Hard Legion are out of chances in this round. Rage won't be able to win this. The late round B play works well for Nemiga. I think Box winning that first fight on short makes all the difference there. As soon as he gets that kill, the players on B are so much more vulnerable from all those angles, and Hard Legion can't hold it down.
Yeah, there still seem to be fine margins in a lot of these rounds, and it definitely hasn't been as dominant as it can be for Nemiga, but they're still getting those rounds out. And as we've seen before, when they played against Sprout, they only needed like 7 rounds, and then on the CT side, I don't think they dropped a single one. They were utterly dominant. I think they lost the pistol. I think that was it.
Right.
So for Hard Legion, they're definitely going to be wanting to get a few more rounds. At the same time, I do think that they can pull this off on the T side, especially with how they've been playing so far. But these few rounds have been awkward for them, and it's left them in an odd spot financially, which is allowing Nemiga to start to streak rounds together. The scary prospect is Spiidi not playing well, Lollipop not playing well. Nemiga still on a level playing field. And that just shows that there is a little bit more depth. I sort of mentioned at the very beginning of this game the fact that I didn't really see JO as being like maybe as good as he should be. I didn't see the place in this team where he fits, because obviously Box is sort of the madman. You've got Spiidi, Orpa, Lollipop the star, MDS a lot of the time like works as sort of an entry fragger, takes aggressive positions. I was wondering where JO would fit in. Well, at the moment, he's done a lurk role fantastically well, and he's been opening up a lot of rounds. Of course, this is one of your last chances to go over to Hellcase. Use the code SLTV15 and get yourself a 15% refill balance. Of course, you can also open up the Hell Cup 8 Pro case, which puts more money into the prize pool, which someone has clearly done, because it's now 31,741, which means there's 1 extra case that has been opened in that time. So if you do fancy opening some cases, looking for some skins in there, and also putting a little bit of cash into the pockets of one of these 2 teams, and also some of the teams a little bit further down in the 3rd and 4th place. I think even 5th might get a bit extra as well, but don't quote me on that. But either way, 5-5. An awkward spot for Hard Legion. Probably just going to see a pistol or 2 invested. The one thing I do wonder is if maybe someone else will save some extra cash, like svyat, to make sure that an AWP can go into Rage's hands in the next round. Because although he's got it this one, there is no guarantee that he'll be able to save it.
I would have liked Krad to get a deg here, honestly. But it's all good. P250's fine, I suppose. Not quite the same playmaking potential with that weapon, though. For $300, though, P250 is always a decent purchase on a round like this. Gives you a chance to maybe get a kill, maybe take away some of the opponent's economy. kinqie actually has a Desert Eagle, so maybe he will try and take some, I guess, hope from Krad's previous round. kinqie did land a shot in that one as well. But here we go, into round number 11. As you were saying, Rage has the ult for this round, but he will be trying to see if he can use it wisely. Molotov misses window, so Rage can actually stick in this position. Problem is, the players have already pushed up through short into the ladder room. Now, if Rage isn't aware of that, he could be caught out. He could be caught scoped in on mid. And I don't think Rage is really aware of it right now. MDS is playing underpass. Still, that man in ladder room is playing patiently, is biding his time. But if they realize Rage is here, then that man in ladder room may be able to flank. Doesn't look like that will be happening yet, though, because MDS has snuck his way onto A.
Oh, that's got to be brutal for svyat. No idea that anybody had got this far. Now, Krad's position is an interesting one. His hope will be to catch the bomb, but the bomb is going through mid, so if he is going to make a move, he'll have to have some really lucky timing, which might be the case for Rage. Never mind. Looks away, and one by one we see the full Hard Legion fall. Thrown. Be lucky to get anything here. Clean round for Nemiga, exactly what they were looking for. Bolstering that cash. JO now on $12,000.
Oh, wow. 2 orbs.
Yeah, they're going to invest. It's actually kinqie picking up a glass cannon AWP. Now, I understand orbs coming in, especially if you're one of the B site holders, that you can take a little bit more of an aggressive stance. At the same time, I don't think he needs to be playing one. Like, he's been performing very, very well on the rifles. It's not been their weakness so far. Like, I think it's been in other places where they've had their problems. So, realistically, I'm not sure that's the right call, especially if it removes utility from him. That's ridiculous, though. And Rage has actually got aggressive elsewhere. You can expect Lollipop to be there. And the fact that they're willing to take the challenge versus the player that's normally the toughest to break down is a good sign, at least for Hard Legion, and this round is a good sign in itself, although svyat may be a little bit overzealous as he goes aggressive once again. Gives away that man advantage, and bear in mind, if it comes down to a retake, sure, they have a kit, but only 2 flashbangs at a singular smoke is not the ideal utility. Same time, though, there's not a single smoke for Nemiga, so how they're going to get into this A site? Well, I can tell you, it's going to rely very much on individual duels. And I wouldn't like to be taking them versus this man, who's been superb so far today.
The upside is MDS is in connector out to stairs already. So they know that stairs isn't a position they have to be worried about. He can also potentially start to clear jungle. And then at that point, you actually have a way into the A site. You have a realistic chance of being able to make it onto this bomb site. kinqie spots him. Doesn't land a shot, though. That's some information gathered. Krad is about to be tested. svyat wins the first, but kinqie is at least able to trade. MDS has made his way into jungle, and oh no, kinqie's not ready for the angle. JO gets another kill, and now JO will try and plant for connector. It's almost the lineup. JO takes damage down to 19 health. He plants out in the open to try and have a chance in the clutch. He knows there was an AWP here, so that's a risky face, but he gets back to the site. Both opponents on almost full health, though. JO has to land some quick kills, has to land some quick headshots, and Throne will be ready for the fight. Hard Legion bringing it back to a 6-6 scoreline. Nemiga taking it somewhat close there, though.
Yeah, uncomfortably close, especially with how that round started off. It really should have been a dominant one. And of course, as we mentioned, financially, this is no issue. Oh, so close to being the dirty double, but instead, well, they close it out. There's still going to have to be some weaponry juggled around, and the CT side will be in a bit of an uncomfortable spot if they lose this round. Sure, there might be a risk to force it, but you'd have most players around the $3,000 marker rather than up in the 4,000 or 5,000s where you'd like to be. For the T's even, they'll still have another buy in the next round. Still, the bank of JO would help them even getting an AWP, and well, for the rest of the team, they can just purchase. Again, we're going to see a more aggressive stance into mid. It was successful in the last round, but I think that's why it's a little bit slower this time for the remainder of the side. And Lollipop still trying to go for those aggressive peaks. He's been countered an awful lot, but I like to see the confidence isn't a miss.
Yeah, someone who's meant to be the standout player on your team, you've got to be aware that you still need to remain confident, remain ready to take fights, especially with the game being so close. Lollipop knows if he steps up, he could put his team over the edge here with how some of his teammates are playing so far. Ooh, good shot from Spiidi. Spots out kinqie over on short. Nemiga with full mid control and the man advantage. Hard Legion have stacked plenty of players onto the A site, and that might work out for them. Lollipop is getting inquisitive in towards the A ramp. A second player's arriving to assist him. The time is ticking as well. Nemiga very well may be moving into A. And I think that's the decision they've made here. They're going to run into this stack. The time is really low here. 25 seconds now. Nemiga have got to make a move.
Yeah, this is making me very uncomfortable, but MDS might be able to throw a spanner in the works. His peek out could be everything. The Molotov coming in will clear one. Rage is not prepared. Krad wasn't looking, and now he's the only one remaining. If he could deny the plant, he has a chance, but that will be all. Great entries coming in for Nemiga, and the timing couldn't have been better. It may be MDS to 4, but he probably got the most crucial kill, took the distraction off the remainder of his players. Now thrown, no choice but to save. Their money, as said, will be wrecked. 2,400 into this next round, and well, sure, that will leave Krad and kinqie in a position where they can get something on the board, but the rest of the players will have nada.
Considering Hard Legion got the stack right, they will be a bit disappointed in how that round ended up going against them. The Molotov from MDS, though, was obviously helpful, and then just the information he gathered and the one kill he gets is really all Nemiga need at that point. Because they know there's a man under Palace who's just been mollied out. They know there's a man towards the back of Triple, towards that backside position. It just gives Nemiga all the information as to the positions they need to clear, all the positions they need to focus on. And because Nemiga had so many players pushing into A, that makes all the difference. So good stuff from MDS, just getting the one kill, but it was very, very valuable in terms of the information he gathered. It is now Nemiga into the lead, and as we were saying earlier, this is without some of their star players really having monster performances. It's been more about the team effort here on the Nemiga side of things, which is great to see.
Well, thrown. This is exactly what he should be doing with the rifle, trying to be proactive, trying to get in the face of their opposition. MDS may have just come in to save the day, and kinqie is not quite able to kill off the main man, MDS. Nice shot from svyat, though. Running and gunning. But again, there's a trade. This is a round that really should be a moneymaker, and there goes Lollipop. Maybe a confidence booster as well for him, as JO's there to close. It will be an 8th for Nemiga, the half one at a minimum. And now we get that final buy. If Hard Legion can at least bring it back to an 8-7, I wouldn't really doubt them on that T side. They can do it. It's just whether or not we're going to see the best of Nemiga on their defensive side.
2 AWPs taken at the start of this round for Nemiga. They have plenty of AKs back at spawn, so they can switch out later in the round. JO will probably just look for an opening pick. I don't mind that, especially on the B side of the map, where players sometimes jump peek for information. The mid play from Box is not aware of how many CTs are going to be there. Thrown alongside his teammates, we're always going to be able to take Box out of contention in that one. Oh, and Rage has got underpass. He's ready on the angle. Easy shot onto MDS. It's solo fight so far for Nemiga, and at least Lollipop wins one battle on A, but he gives away his life needlessly. kinqie was ready on the stairs position. He just rotated over in time, and this round has kind of just fallen apart for Nemiga. They just lost a bunch of early fights and have to try and turn a 2v4 around.
Oh yeah, this is where one of the only maps where we would say that it's even for Nemiga on either side of the map. So a good start for Hard Legion could still give them an opportunity. Spiidi and JO though. I think svyat was ready for that push. There's 2 players here. Okay, he gets the first, but they won't beat any sort of trade. And now Spiidi alone, 1 versus 3. A man in the, or below Palace. Takes that duel, but it's at the cost of a heavy amount of HP, and I think svyat's just playing this one smart. Just going to try and get nice and close as he plants this bomb, and Spiidi's not going to be ready. 8-7, it's as close as it can get at the end of the second half, but still Nemiga with a decent fight back, and if they get off to a strong start, I think we'd be crazy to doubt them in this second half.
Yeah, another hotly contested map. Overpass didn't feel like it was going to be that way, but it ended up being a very, very close one in terms of going the distance, going to a 16-14 victory for Nemiga. And you see some of the players playing well for Nemiga. It is Jo, as we said, towards the top. Definitely expecting to see more out of Lollipop, especially on this CT side. He plays on A. Spiidi has had an okay game. I always point out as well for Nemiga, Box in connector on their CT side can be a real nuisance. For whatever reason, teams really struggle to deal with Box in that position. He's pretty good at playing around those smokes especially. He plays the same spots in connector fairly frequently, but they almost always work for him. And sometimes Box even gets aggressive at mid at the right time. Sometimes he'll get flashed in to try and go for those early fights into that position. So I really like seeing Box play connector. Most of the time, he does a really good job in that sort of position. We'll have to wait and see if that's going to be the case into this second half, as it slowly but surely comes on through. Pistol round will obviously be the first one we witness. We had a pistol round earlier where everyone bought Kevlar. We're not going to see the same here, but Nemiga have no kit. So this is where I really don't want to see them playing retake on A. I think if you're going to go with 3 sets of, or 5 sets of Kevlar, I should say, you probably have to play a stack on the A site. And that's what Nemiga are doing. So good to see.
Box about to be pressured. He jumps out the window. A risky peek, but doesn't fall for it. They might actually split towards this B side, though, which would put some heavy reliance on at least one of these players. They're going to go back towards the window, though. MDS, he's watching, but he only gets one. And after dinking him, they might look to fall back in that direction, but the bomb's been dropped in mid. And now, with the pistols doing so much damage to these CT players, it starts to get a little bit scary. Spiidi, Jo, the two healthy remaining players. The shots are definitely getting worrying again. It's another dink. They've got 3 players that only had 13 HP between them. And it's looking like this pistol might actually be going back to Hard Legion, but Spiidi still going. He finds a second. And now Rage, the last man, a minute left, and the bomb in an awkward spot.
Oh, jumps down into underpass, even though the bomb's up on short. I know he has time, but that's going to be pretty costly, and I think Nemiga will have heard him here. Rage now running straight into Spiidi, who was not missing here on this CT pistol. Fast shots from him. Nice seeing Spiidi getting some early kills, and here was Box in that connector position we were talking about. He got those 2 aggressive kills, and then Spiidi just so fast on all these. This last one was an insta headshot again. Clean kills from him as Nemiga get that pistol round and get themselves into a position where Hard Legion don't have a whole lot to work with. Just a couple of degs, a P250, and a flashback.
Yeah, that pistol round was so close, though. There was, at one point, a player with 1 HP, 2 players with 6 HP, and then Spiidi healthy. And they still managed to keep it with 3 players surviving. This is a round where, basically, you've got to try and keep it squeaky clean if you're Nemiga. Any kills, and that's going to be very valuable indeed. But so far, so good. It's only going to be Rage. If he had the bomb, this might be interesting, but he doesn't, so basically, he probably should just run into the blender here, but it looks like he's going to give his team maybe a little bit more time to talk, trying to fake them out. He does have a deg, so I guess with that extra cash, he's trying to do some damage. Box doesn't really need to take this fight, but he will, and he'll win it. Nemiga feeling confident, a 10th onto the board, but now we get that purchase. This is where it really does get interesting, and wow, 10 odds already for Hard Legion. I wouldn't count them out of this map just yet, but the guys at Unicorn clearly have other ideas.
Yeah, Nemiga in this round even don't have the greatest weapons across the board. There's definitely a chance Hard Legion could win this one and come right back into this map. It's been very close so far between these two teams on Mirage, so feels like this map could go either way. And then Hard Legion, if they were to win this one, would then have the task of trying to win Inferno as well, which generally has been fairly good for them. Mid play coming in for Hard Legion. Here's this angle from Box. He plays here in so many rounds. I always say that I feel like he could get nade stacked at some point if a team really just wants to mess with him. But We'll see if Box can get this position to go his way early into this one. And there it is. Box playing around this smoke, gets the first kill, and gets his team the early edge.
His team actually re-smoke it.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Well.
It's so sick. But that means he knows exactly where the smoke is, so he knows how to play around it.
Well, the other thing as well is Singularity actually did that to him on Nuke. They started nade stacking him because he played in the same spot every
That's
round.
what I'd expect if a team had really done their homework. You can just nade stack him,
and
probably.
that's in Mini as well, which is not the easiest place to nade stack in the world. But it was Singularity doing it from Silo. They like alley-ooped it straight onto the head of Box. So it can be done, but it seems like in this case it's not going to happen. And they don't have much time. 30 seconds. They're going to make their way through the connector. Nice shot to start things off from svyat. That's the opener they were looking for. Lollipop takes a risky face, and because of it will be traded out. The time is ticking. Spiidi, he needs a kill here and won't find anything. And now it's going to be a bit of an awkward spot in a retake. Krad takes a bit of damage from the Molotov. I think that's his own Molotov, in fact. And the shot's doing a lot of damage. They can't quite deny that bomb plant. And now MDS is going to be left all on his own. A few low players. Anyone he can kill off might net him a rifle, and more importantly, reduce the amount of money that Hard Legion have going forward. This easily could have been a round win. And actually, Rage is just waiting patiently for that rifle retrieval. It will be 10-8. Money not actually in a great spot for Nemiga. It might not be worth a buy.
Yeah, this was going to be the problem for Nemiga. If they lost the round, we were always going to be seeing a awkward position where maybe they could buy, but maybe they're better off saving. And I think making the decision to save here is one that I'm a fan of. Just make sure you get a proper and healthy buy into the future. There's a nade stack going into the connector. Box isn't there this time, though, because they're on the low buy. So that's a bit unfortunate for Hard Legion. I still like the idea, though. I still like that they've clearly done some prep and they have the awareness that Box likes to play that same spot. But this time around, the nade stack is unsuccessful. Lollipop getting aggressive into the open arms of Throne. kinqie has to be a bit careful, but now he knows where Spiidi is. And good shot from MDS. Unfortunately, two of his teammates have fallen first.
Still an aggressive player in the form of Box, but it seems like the T's are going to go towards the B site in the end, where there is the majority of the players. Of course, still a weakened purchase, but a kill or two here really wouldn't be bad. And Box coming in on this flank could make things all the more interesting. If anything, if he bypasses svyat, that could be the better of the two plays. Instead, he's going to come up behind him. Now, this may end up just him saving an AK if he does get this kill, which he will. Now the push comes in elsewhere. They've seen at least the aggression. MDS is going to go down. Oh, no, he's not, sorry. Jayo's going to go down after getting his kill. MDS still standing, at least for the moment, and Box trying to get back in quick enough. He's got that AK, he's got some Kevlar, but not going to do anything here. Instant headshot to remove him from the round. Still a very good one in the end for Nemiga with the amount of damage they've done, and now they get a purchase of their own.
Yeah, Box, the man with a bit more money, is able to drop the AWP over to Spiidi. As you were saying, though, just the damage is pretty decent for Nemiga, all things considered. Keeping Hard Legion honest, keeping Hard Legion in a position where their money isn't 100% perfect. And Krad has got a MAC-10 in this round, even though he could have had an AK drop to him. Definitely be keeping an eye on what Krad decides to do in this one. So far, though, it's a slower start for Hard Legion, going for a bit of mid control. Spiidi was trying to play in window, but he got smoked off pretty quickly in this round. Box going back to his favorite spot and connector. Second smoke there to help him hold that position. He's got the silenced M4 this time, which makes him even sneakier in this spot. But Hard Legion aren't putting too much pressure across the map right now. Using a couple of nades, using one smoke onto A, but not a whole deal else. And now that Nemiga are out of smokes, this is where Box decides to back away. not playing connector any longer, playing on the stairs instead, and he's got to be careful here because Hard Legion have got a couple of players coming into connector, and Nemiga don't have too many players on this A-bomb site. It's Box with the first fight to go his way, gets a second, Box makes it a third, absolutely shutting down Hard Legion, not giving them an inch, not giving them any way into this A-bomb site. Lollipop will hit the deck, but Box wants more. He gets another dink. He's got the chance here. He could pick up the ace. It's a quad kill for Box, and Hard Legion are going to be so frustrated that they couldn't get that trade.
Well, trying to deny the ace. svyat says Nyat. Decides to run all the way in towards the apartments. Just going to chill out, watch some TV for the last 10 seconds of the round. Money-wise, it's not the best case now for Hard Legion. That 1 AK is probably going to have to be a catalyst for the next round. I'm sure it's not going to be too much of a happy position for Box. He could have easily had an ace, but hey, what a round from him. And in a position where it should have been impossible. This is really poor timing for Hard Legion, it has to be said. Of course, most big plays end up in that sort of regard, so you can't take anything away from Box for hitting the shots, but if they all peeked him together, he didn't stand a chance. Instead, they go one by one by one. This buy from Hard Legion is not a good one either. If they can make it work, of course, it will put the pain onto Nemiga's economy. It's looking like it's going to be a barrel in towards this A-site. Lollipop waiting, but he misses his shots. Box also gets domed by Throne. This could be the round already slipping away from them. Spiidi desperately trying to hold on to the cross, and he may be able to. That's the bomb down. That would give some time for the rotation. There's a smoke and an incendiary. The nades going across will do some extra damage as well. That's something that there really isn't any. Oh, but it doesn't matter. They're doing everything with the pistols. And now Spiidi, he needs to try and retreat. Krad going through, and he misses. He's still alive for now, but it won't be for long. Hard Legion break back in force, and Nemiga once again are on the ropes with their economy.
Yeah, whenever these games end up going scrappy like this, it's always the CTs who end up worse for wear. Throne, though, coming in with some individual skill in this round. We've seen some of the other players step up. This time it's Throne with the Desert Eagle who gets the shots early, and there were AKs following him up, but it's just the Deegs that do everything in this round. Definitely got to give a lot of credit to Throne as this stand-in. Again, having impact for his team in that round, and that one could be a real difference maker. As you said, Nemiga have been broken. P250 bought by JO. The issue is, even if they save on most of their players, the money is kind of questionable on some of them. You can see the odds from Unicorn still heavily favoring Nemiga. 7-1 odds on Hard Legion right now, even though Mirage has been close. Those are the odds for the series, so that's part of the reason why Nemiga are still favorites that much, but still, Hard Legion are definitely keeping this close. The first map in and of itself was a close one. Hard Legion should be tying this one up right here.
It's been the more basic strategies that have worked for them as well, and it's surprising that it's the A-site plays that have been going so well. The fact that Throne gets a double entry there with a Deagle is huge, but also Lollipop just unable to really get a footing in this match, and he's normally the best player, and it just hasn't been so far. This round already looking solid. Of course, the one sort of worrying fact that we've had for Hard Legion is each time they lose a round financially, they've been screwed. But for now, if they can win this round clean, that would be a pretty good stepping stone for them to build back into this T side.
Box's aggression could be well timed. Throne is just moving off the angle. Oh, it was a dink from Box. You can see on the health there. So maybe if he had a better gun, he would have got that kill. Nice shot from kinqie. Clean headshot onto Lollipop. And yeah, that's been one of the issues on this A side. Obviously, in this round, we weren't expecting anything from Lollipop, but he has been having a pretty quiet game by his standards. There we go. MBS gets one kill, but Krad, for some reason, using the Deeg, gets it at the end. 11-11. Nemiga still with a couple of players low on money, but they will be committing to the buy.
Yeah, they're going to give MDS as well the weaker weaponry, and considering he's been someone to actually have some really high impact rounds, I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. Lollipop also down on 11 kills, which We expect a lot more from him.
I think the MP9 might go to
doing this
MDS
again?
just because he's that B-site anchor.
Looks like they're going again. Yeah, they're going to run straight in. Lollipop needs to have impact. He isn't going to find a thing, and it's left onto Box. He's accidentally right-clicked his rifle. That's a big mistake. Now, Jo was here for the initial push. It's a bit dicey, but he gets the kill nonetheless. Actually going to push more aggressively on the ramp. The problem is, there's now been a fight over on B. Now, svyat is still alive. Doesn't really need to face this, although the Molotov could make things awkward, and Rage nails the shot. This opens up A once again. It's going to be a little bit confusing now for the remaining players as MDS is still running back to CT. He doesn't need to go much further than this. Just trying to watch into the side. kinqie's going to spot him. It does so much damage. The nade will probably finish him off, maybe even get the second as svyat survives on just 2 HP. The bomb's going to be planted. He nails the shot through the smoke, though. And now it's into the 1v1. AWPA on AWPA. We've spoken about this battle many a time. It seems like it's expected, though. Rage initially looks in that direction. svyat will be able to jump back through and tries to make it a little bit deeper so that his position won't be expected. I think he's been told that he's a lot lower than he actually is. A dink would do it, but there's no way at this point that Rage is expecting him to be on stairs. This is an unorthodox position, and if he goes for a plant, surely it won't be for CT. That would be such a big risk. So, but that could play into svyat's hands if he goes for anything safer. But he does. He goes for the CT plant, not knowing exactly where svyat will be. The wraparound coming in, still not spotting his opponent, and he nails the headshot as well. What a clutch. 2 HP, 1v2. It's just about Nemiga taking through another round. The issue here, though, is their money is wrecked. They're going to have to do this with very little.
Yeah, even though he's, well, probably told that the man is lower than he actually was, he still just lands the headshot with the USP. svyat with 2 USP kills on the round. There's the AWP shot through the smoke. So impressive from svyat to win this one for his squad. One of those players that has been stepping up, but as you said, it's not like Nemiga are out of the woods just yet. They've got to keep on going into this next round. Lollipop stuck with an MP9, and Lollipop's been left solo holding A with that MP9, so that would be scary if he were pushed. It's a 3-man B stack for Nemiga, and Rage has just spotted that man. Molotov will go down, but I think the smoke just makes sure that MDS can stick in this corner. Box is getting aggressive. Oh, Krad, he's ready for it. He takes a dink, but he wins that fight against Box. And now Krad, despite being on 10 health, is quickly moving into mid.
The incendiary, not quite going to kill him off. Lollipop's got so much to do. 3 players pushing in his direction. I think if he dies without any sort of response, this will just be a save for the remainder of his team. He gets a kill, though. The bomb's actually going to go falling back. There's a chance for him to potentially retrieve that AWP, but he's got to be careful from the players behind. And it's an opening that they didn't really think of. This could be a kill coming onto svyat as well, because there's a player now pushing out towards the palace. svyat has to have another big round for his team, as there's nobody else even being able to rotate in. The bomb being planted, there's nothing he can really do to deny it this time. And I think this round is already looking dicey, but a quick flick may have just opened things back up.
Time is not on Nemiga's side here with that bomb going, and kinqie's got this flank. I don't think they'll expect this. Flanking CT could be a huge play. svyat has his back turned. 1 free kill for kinqie, but he's going to bide his time. He knows the bomb's planted. This is so well played by kinqie. He denies the defuse. He gets the second kill, and kinqie just uses his position to his advantage. Beautifully done. Doesn't even have to win fights because the opponents aren't even looking at him. And there was the dink from Box. If he just connected 1 shot sooner, he would have got that initial kill. Doesn't happen for him. Now Nemiga remain in this position where, because it's been so back and forth, their money is much worse for wear. They're struggling so heavily with this economy game. And if they lose this one, Nemiga could be going down 14-12. And their buy is not good. This is really rough now for Nemiga. Nade goes through, does a bit of early damage to svyat. Nemiga could really do with pulling something out to win this round.
Yeah, this is basically a full-on reset. And because of it, they've had to take risks, and none of the risks they've been paying off at all. Molotov's going to be coming in. Box does at least hit a ding, and Lollipop's going to go for it. He gets 2, he gets 3. Lollipop finally wakes up into the server exactly when they needed him most. And now Rage is the only one remaining. A 1 versus 4, but surely their star player has dragged them through this round. A ridiculous play off the back of an MP9, the only non-pistol player they had. And just look at the damage this is going to do. The T's definitely not expecting this, and Rage, he's actually just trying to get his AWP out of the map. They're probably going to hear this. It doesn't really matter to them. They've managed to retrieve 4 AKs. As long as none of them go down, it's not going to matter. And well, the flashbang doesn't even land. It will be 4 guns retrieved for the CT side. This could be the round that changes the match.
Yeah, that changes everything. Nemiga now are the ones that have the control. And finally, it's Lollipop who steps up to the plate. After a quiet game, he gets all 3 of those kills without taking any damage with the MP9 there. Everything went right for him. The stars aligned. He landed his shots as well. Got to give him props for that, because the MP9 isn't always that easy to control with its high fire rate, but he controlled that beautifully. And now Hard Legion have very little to work with in this round. Nades go through a bit too far. Rage has actually beaten the incendiary, and Rage was thinking about going further. Oh, another incendiary deployed. Rage forced into the open. Good stuff from Nemiga to clear him out of that spot. And already looking like the CTs will win this one with ease.
Of course, this was one where there was nothing really invested, but even going into this next round, there's going to be pieces missing. svyat is going to hand that AWP over to Rage. Been playing all right. It's been kinqie who's really been fantastic. If they manage to somehow bring this back, he'd definitely be one of my candidates for MVP of the whole thing. He's played so well in maps where they've needed it. Fact is, though, we sit 14-12. After a 12-round comeback in the last map, Nemiga pull a round out of nothing and now look to try and get this one home as well. Push into middle's not expected. Box gets that opener. He's sneaky back through his own smoke and already gets that man advantage going. Hard Legion fought tooth and nail, but are they going to fall at the final hurdle, or is there still some life in this squad? They've lost their star man. It's going to be a rotation back to mid. The bomb will be retrieved as potentially might look to set up seemingly into the B side this time. They haven't played a lot in that direction. It's been the A side where they've got the majority of their rounds with faster plays. These slower ones normally give opportunities. With all those AKs, there's no real battles to win. At least easy ones. Rage is going to have to do some work coming through this connector. If he gets spotted, he's in trouble, but I think he was hoping to find a pick instead. With nothing there, the remainder of the team are going to look to entry into this B site, which has 3 players on it.
Yeah, Nemiga seem to be one step ahead of this. They still have some nades as well. Jayo's got some utility, which could slow this down. In fact, that incendiary's in his hands. 30 seconds left on the clock. Here come the nades for Hard Legion. Spiidi forced off the angle early, but that incendiary's burning them. Krad and Throne both getting kills, but they won't expect MDS. He strikes with 2, and the rest of Hard Legion are so far behind. That incendiary slowed them down so much. MDS trying to buy time, finally falls, but he's allowed the rotate. Bomb dropped on the site. 10 seconds left and Box sneaks on in. He doesn't get the kill though. Krad trying to get that bomb down and Rage keeps him safe. It's up to Lollipop. First kill comes in. Rage is repositioned though and Lollipop doesn't seem too aware of that fact. He's looking at the apartments but Rage is scoped in on the close angle. He unscopes now as Lollipop is still trying to clear these out. Rage is about to go up. Lollipop looking for this. He needs to clear this angle. He needs to clear it. Lollipop turns his back at just the wrong time. Rage gets it. And Hard Legion just about keep themselves in this one. Oh man, these are so close.
That movement from svyat to get around the corner and get the bomb down was everything. A single bullet more and he's dead. Thing is though, it's still crunch time. A loss here would put them back minimum loss bonus. 1,400 is all they'll have to buy into the next round. A pause has been taken. It could be for either side. Nemiga not wanting to let this one slip away after such a good start to that round. MDS putting in a shift, but couldn't quite deny anything more. And the T's fighting back. No matter what the case here, one of these teams is going to be in trouble in the next round. Spiidi can get an AWP here. Geo could even pick up a secondary if he really wanted to, although he's been relatively successful with the rifles. So, again, it doesn't seem like a necessity. But that round seemed like it should have been the end of the story. Instead, Hard Legion have kept us going for a few pages more.
Yeah, as you said, just the fact that svyat can even get that bomb down in the first place probably shouldn't have happened, but it makes all the difference for Hard Legion. That means we do get to see buys from both teams again in this one. Here's the replay. So MDS, to begin with, went unchecked. He did have a smoke here, which might have helped, but he didn't want to risk pulling that out. He didn't know how close Hard Legion were. And then, I don't know if Lollipop tried to clear Van and just didn't fully clear the corner. Yeah, it was... He looked very, very sure that the man was still in the apartments from the beginning of that clutch, which I think was the problem for him. So just that slight reposition from Rage wins him the round.
Either someone's taking multiple pauses or this is a technical one, which would be the worst possible time to have a technical pause, but, you know, it happens. Maybe a TeamSpeak issue, could be many different things, but hopefully we'll be getting back underway shortly. Of course, for Hard Legion, they lose this round and they're in real trouble. Now, sure, they've won some with the Deegs, but I don't think they can be too reliant on that. The way that the last few rounds have been going is they haven't really been able to streak anything together. Then again, neither either side. It's almost dead even in this second half. In fact, it is dead even. But getting the last few would be everything, of course. Hard Legion will need to get every single round to take this in regulation, whereas Nemiga... Well, if anything, if they win this next one, it should be good for 2, but the same could be said on the other side of the coin, depending on any saved weaponry, of course. Utility definitely a little bit weaker going into this, but I wonder if svyat might just invest into a Galil or an SMG and just try and keep the nades a little bit higher, set up his team for those openers, and, well, you know, get themselves going.
Yeah, we will wait and see. Here's the kill counts for both teams. kinqie top fragging for his team. It's actually Krad who has more ADR with a bunch of assists in there. But kinqie has been very impressive.
Same
and then for
on the
Nemiga, yeah. Nemiga's kills are much closer across the board though. Let's give credit to them. And here we go. svyat buys up the AK into round 28. Nade going in from kinqie does good damage onto MDS in particular. kinqie's got to be a bit careful here. Nade comes through, he avoids it. They're actually pushing to the left side. Oh, kinqie not able to spot them out. They thought he was still in that corner, but this mid-aggression is something that he's finding a bit uncomfortable. He also has svyat assisting him from behind, and oh, there we go. Rage lands the first shot. Lollipop getting a bit too greedy, and now Krad, who is low on health, will take the AWP.
Yeah, Krad, I think, took a lot of damage from a B-site Molotov. It's going to be a top mid take as the remaining players have gone back into the B-site. Hard Legion now with a man advantage and just trying to play off it. It leaves a really awkward position for Spiidi, though. It almost looks like they've gone all in on this B site. And just left him to defend this one alone. If he gets the kill onto Krad, this could at least make things interesting. Time is going to be everything. No, and he hits the shot. That's integral. And now it might actually force them into the hands. Geo not looking in the right direction, but neither of the T's. He had the chance for so many, but it will only be one. And now the shot not going to be taken. There's still 2 players here, though. I don't know if they'll be expecting that. MDS, he's going to clear the first. Needs to be a response, and there will be. But Box is just going to play above, just waiting for them to try and plant this bomb. He should be able to deny it, and now it's left all onto Rage, and there's only 10 seconds. He needs 2 kills. I don't even think he has time to get the bomb down. So as long as the other player runs away, which is exactly what Spiidi has done, Rage just has to try and hold on to the gun. It will be 15-13 by small margins. It's awkward at the end, but both players will survive. And now that solo AK will be the only rifle they have going forward. It is crunch time for Hard Legion. This is match, series, and tournament point for Nemiga.
And this time round, Box is able to deny the bomb plant. A similar round to the previous one where Box couldn't deny it, but this time the unexpected angle works out for him. And Rage at the end there realizing he is much better served saving the AK than going for the fight, because as you pointed out, it's the only AK they have to work with. Rage taking a tiny bit of damage early, the boost comes in. I think Rage may have spotted that. He was looking at this right side, and if he's aware of MDS's position, in theory, they would love a Molotov to clear him out. Unfortunately, they don't have that. And the other problem is there's obviously a second man on the site watching for it, but Hard Legion are grouping up to B. So I think because of that call, because they know there's a man committed to the right side, they think they may be able to get that kill, they may be able to get that gun and try and move into B. And that's what Rage will look to do. Jo spots him out. Still no peek from the right side. Rage is ready for it, though.
Oh, okay, it is going to be that first kill. Do they expect Jo to have moved into this other position, though? It's a bit awkward. He actually goes down to Throne. Box is still here. They've got to make sure they clear the site, and actually he's walked past one of the remaining members of this team. It's going to be trades back and forward. And another one coming up for Krad. Surely this is heading into at least one more round. Unless Spiidi can clutch this out, and I don't really know how he's going to do that. He's completely surrounded. Krad probably going to be making his push back in behind him. Spiidi looking for the spot, and he tries to go for the quick scope. Eventually, he gets the shot with the USP, but this can't happen again. A 1v2 for Spiidi, probably just going to try and exit this round, at least keep himself an AWP, but once again, when they needed it most, there's a step up from the side of Hard Legion, as they'll go 15-14. It's going to have to be 2 16-14s for Nemiga to take it in regulation, and more importantly, they have no loss bonus.
Yeah, the money is such a big issue for Nemiga. And you see how close and how tight these rounds can be, where just Rage spotting that tiny bit of information. It was barely a pixel that he saw of MDS moving into that position, but as soon as he spotted that, he realized that with the pistols, they've probably got a decent chance to just try and push that position together. Rage does that, he gets the first kill. Then Throne did such a good job at getting that one through the smoke, and Rage was able to wrap around the back. So with 2 AK kills, he helped make the difference, and here are the buys for both teams. Hard Legion with 2 MAC-10s. svyat could actually drop a second AK, and it's the last round of regulation, so I don't know why he wouldn't do that. But they're sticking with the 2 MAC-10s. Maybe a fast play is what they have in mind, because all of Hard Legion moving over to B, we might get a quick end to regulation.
Jo should have heard the footsteps. MDS is going to be waiting. He's left blind. Jo gets the first kill. He's going to need a lot more. His teammate only has a deagle. There needs to be at least one here, and MDS gets absolutely nothing. The remaining few players are not left with the right weaponry to do this. It is looking like overtime's on the cards. There'd have to be some massive plays coming out from the remainder, and now only 2 remaining. It is going to be Spiidi and Lollipop. I don't know how they get back into this round. They would need a miracle. They need to perform something we've probably never seen before, and more importantly, there's extra utility being expended. It's Spiidi all alone. Even with the peaks, it's not going to happen. Hard Legion have taken this to overtime. It will continue, at least for now, as the grand final isn't over just yet.
Overpass went the distance, but it did end in regulation. Mirage will be going all the way to overtime. Again, it is the last day here at the Hellcase Cup number 8, so make sure to use that code SLTV15 for a 15% refill bonus while you have the chance. And if you've been enjoying this grand final so far, you can open up the Hell Cup 8 Pro case to contribute to the prize pool, which helps both of these teams out. And they've been putting on a show, so I think that is a fair price, a fair trade. Here we go, though, into overtime. Spiidi and Rage both picking up snipers. No double AWP setup for Nemiga, which is something they could have gone for, but they go for the single AWP for now as we get into overtime.
Rage looking to try and get aggressive.
Ooh.
Not sure what happened there, but it is going to be boxed to find a kill. kinqie's lurking around the edge of this connector. He's got to be careful and actually loses that battle. Throne has found another one. So many low players. Surely that nade has to finish off one of them. It almost gets a second. MDS not paying attention though. He zones out and now it's left onto Spiidi. He's managed to get in behind. kinqie is going to be just on the edge, retrieving the bomb. He must know that he's around this angle. But kinqie's just waiting. The kill is everything, and he finds it. It's going to be left into the 1 versus 1. The smoke thrown down. I wonder where Spiidi's actually going to reposition. It looks like he's going all the way around. Now, with the bomb in the connector, playing from the top of mid could actually work into his favor. It's just dependent on what the opposition plans to do. In fact, he's going to go all the way around.
These are some mad mind games.
And just look at Throne. He's going through B. So if anything, now the time's going to start playing an issue because he's trying to flank Spiidi by going in towards this B site. And with the amount of time he's wasting, he might actually have to go into A. So this could work out for Spiidi, just not knowing where he is. This could be perfect because he won't have time to jump back up and go towards this site. He's going to hear the shot into the connector. Now he has to go and retrieve this bomb, and Spiidi is in the perfect position, just waiting for him on this A site. It basically comes down to Throne having to get the kill, and it's not going to happen. Spiidi is a genius, and Nemiga get their 16th.
Yeah, Spiidi must have just realized that Throne was likely to take a lot of time clearing angles to recover that bomb. And at that point, as you said, the bomb was in connector, so he kind of had to go A, and he didn't have the time to clear all those angles out. So a lot of props to Spiidi in this one. I think that was a really good read that Throne would take a fair bit of time to have to clear all those positions, because the bomb in connector is exposed from loads of angles, which is why it took Throne a fair amount of time to begin with. Obviously, it was helped that he was rotating all the way around to B, but still, great work from Spiidi. Nemiga into an early lead here in overtime, and Lollipop, who's been having a quiet game, looks to get aggressive. Oh, he gets the dink, but not the kill. Throne just about wins out that fight.
That's been the story of his match. The only round we can really think of that was sort of notable from him was the one with the MP9, and other than that, he's not been winning a lot of duels. Somehow Nemiga have been able to power through without him, and they'll need to do that once again. Interestingly, Spiidi opted to keep the AK, so didn't juggle it over to a teammate. Maybe if he gave it to Lollipop, he would have actually got that opener, but pointless to theorize now. The B site is open. So this is a risk being taken, and it's the wrong one for the CT side. They may even just have to go all in when it comes down to it and just save the remaining weaponry. The money's not amazing for them, and, well, unless Rage is going to find a spicy kill here, it is looking like this round may be over, although he's going to peek out. That's the spot. This will actually hold the remainder here, and this is very easy for Hard Legion. They've just gone walking into the B site and taken it without any resistance whatsoever.
Yeah, that actually makes it even easier for Hard Legion to win this round, you would think. Nemiga can afford to at least commit some guns to this if they want to, but some of the players don't have massive amounts of money, so some should be saving. Box is already just waiting far away, and maybe Nemiga will just all save. The chance of winning the retake, even if they got 1 or 2 kills, is just so low. They've realized that they're not going to be winning this one. Always going to be a big risk to leave a bomb site open after going down in a 4v5, but losing that first fight meant they just decided they had to take a gamble, and that was not one that paid off for them this time. 16-16, back to an even scoreline, but at least Nemiga keep themselves in a position where they have money heading into the last round of this first half of overtime.
And this time Lollipop will be handed that AK-47. Spiidi get his AWP back. Obviously going into a lead on the T side for Hard Legion would definitely set them up nicely. They did a reasonable job on their CT side, but they're definitely going to want that advantage. This time Box has switched his game up. He's going to be in the window instead. An aggressive stance being taken from Spiidi, something we haven't really seen so far. And Throne is actually just waiting patiently. Spiidi's a little bit wary that it could be a closer angle that's actually taken, but without spotting anything yet, there comes the face, and Spiidi gets that opener. An important one at that, as it seems to be the way these rounds swing. A lot of the time, the openings are big. This is risky from Box, but he does win the duel. Could try and smoke himself out. Just keep himself alive for now. They want to convert this round, keep themselves with a lead going into that second half of overtime. The rest of the T's look to gather up in towards that B site, and with nobody playing on short, they might not actually hear this for a small amount of time. MDS waiting as nades are being expended to try and clear out all these angles. Krad in the meantime looks to try and probe in, but there's 3 players on this B site. The hold is all they really need. If they win these duels, it won't matter what Krad's doing, no matter how sneaky he is. And in fact, the only real worry is that his flank could kill off Spiidi. And they're really waiting for this, but it's actually the turnaround from Spiidi. That's the information. Now they're going to go darting back towards A, but they haven't actually cleared the ramp. Lollipop could be everything, but he goes down as well. svyat is going to drop MDS. If Box gets the kill, it doesn't matter. They have swung this round onto its head, and now it's left onto Jo. They're watching for him. Krad has won them the round. It shouldn't have mattered, that singular kill, but with the aggressive peak from Lollipop, Hard Legion take a lead. And now if Nemiga are going to take this even to a second overtime, they're going to need 2 on their T side.
Just an absolute steal of a round at the end here from the 3v5, with Krad sneaking into position, getting that first kill. Then you think he might be in trouble. He might not expect the second man, but he lands a ridiculously quick shot with the AWP onto Lollipop, who's still been having his struggles. And then Krad just keeps on going from there. It ends up being a quad kill for him. And there were so many fights that if they were lost by Hard Legion, probably would have costed them the round. If Krad goes down in one of those earlier battles, they can't come back to A. If the bomb gets dropped in connector, that might be too much time denied. That might be too difficult for them. But they win every single fight from the 3v5. They turn it round entirely. And now Hard Legion are the ones who have the lead heading into this second half of OT. And they get to go back to their CT side. Nemiga would need all 3 rounds here on their T half to try and take the victory. Hard Legion only need 2 more to get this victory, and Nemiga all grouping up into A at the start of this round.
Yeah, Krad, in fact, just decides to fall back, knowing that he's the only man here. It is going to be a fast play with the smokes falling. Krad tries to throw down some utility. It's svyat, though, who starts things off. Jo's gone down. There's been no response just yet. Box, however, does find a kill, but he gets tagged in return. There's a lot of decent positions here. They are going to be planting the bomb, but Box dies the second he does it. MDS looking to peek, and he gets the kill. Is there a trade available? Yes, there is. Krad just being patient, and he upgrades to an AK. Spiidi trying to lurk underneath the smoke. Now, in normal circumstances, these are the 2 players you'd want in this clutch. He may have even spotted him with the jump over the top. They've got the utility to actually clear him from this angle. Smoke going down, incendiary as well. Makes him move, but he is still going to be able to hold for now. Waiting for the pre-fire and finds the kill. Lollipop's gone. It's left onto Spiidi. He needs an extra kill here, and the bomb is ticking. And I think they've just about got it as well.
Ooh. So close on the defuse, but Hard Legion win another tight round. Nemiga getting onto the A site in the first place. From that 2v3, it was looking okay for them with how far the bomb was gone, but unfortunately for Spiidi, he was left alone on the site, so even though he lands a shot, it's not enough. And Hard Legion have 2 chances to take us to a 3rd map. Inferno would be there if needed, but Nemiga won't want to rely on that. They'll be wanting to come back here into this overtime. And it looks like we have a pause ahead of this next round. Again, Nemiga need 2 more to take us to a 2nd overtime. That's the only thing they can play for at this point. Whereas Hard Legion have 2 chances to take us to a 3rd map.
Yeah, at this point, I don't even remember what the 3rd map is.
That's Inferno, Tom. It's on the screen.
It is on the screen, you're correct. Now that's the style of the map choice.
Exactly. That's what we chose.
Rage. Looking to try something a little bit spicy in this round. He's going to be spotted though. Flashbang's perfect. svyat has kept him alive. The trade does come back in, but it's at the cost of a lot of health. They're trying to get rid of Rage, and what is that from Box? He was flying through the air as he got that kill. However, there's still one more to deal with, and kinqie has got the kill. A missed shot from Spiidi will give him an opener. Lollipop still trying to lurk in his favorite position. It's an awkward duel, but he has done equal damage in response. Now with a couple of players still looking to build into this B site, it was something that worked quite well for Jo, but Throne is now homed in with that second AWP. They're going to need to clear him off the angle, and there's a second player rotating in as well. They've left Krad on the ramp, and now with two defenders, they need to have some flashbangs here to set up Spiidi with the AWP. If they just run in dry, they're almost asking to fall, and that's exactly what will happen. Spiidi and Lollipop to keep them in the map they probably should have closed out. The peek comes through, great shot from the first, but do they expect the bench? It doesn't look like they do. It's going to be Spiidi alone once again. He doesn't quite hit the shot this time. He's going to be waiting to try and find the kill onto the man in market instead. Krad will be rounding that corner soon as positioning's taken. It's a shot connected, and now into the 1 versus 1. It's so close, but kinqie will close it. We are heading to a third map, Inferno to decide it, as it is a massive comeback from the guys on Hard Legion. You can never count them out. They never seem to be out of the game whatsoever. And well, Inferno seems to be the perfect place to end this series.
Yeah, that was craziness at the end there. Box getting a jumping shot, Spiidi landing one through the wall. I thought Spiidi was going to do it at the end. I think he may have landed a shot through bench as well, because it was Spiidi who pulled out the pistol and seemed aware that the last man was low on health, but it doesn't matter either way. That's all in the past now. Was he low?
Yeah, kinqie was low from that initial duel in mid. It may have been him hitting him with the AWP though that made him low. But yeah, kinqie was low pretty much through that entire round. But yeah, no, that is definitely unfortunate. And for Nemiga, there was what, 14 to 12 in their favor, money in their favor, even doing the damage onto the economy. But it's just rounds like this again. We speak about how Hard Legion are able to win the impossible, and it seems to just happen more often than not that they just sneak these rounds through, and it's ever so painful if you are on the opposing side of it. And for Nemiga, well, they've got to be kicking themselves. They will go into Inferno again, a map that they like to play, but they could have easily closed this in two, be celebrating the victory, have the majority of the money in their hands already. Instead, they're going to have to grind through another map, but it's got to be tilting, especially for someone like Lollipop, who really didn't have the best of games, knowing that there was a couple of times that he definitely could have made all the difference. Even Spiidi coming alive with some pretty big clutches, and each time it seemed like he was let down by a counterpart. So this was the only round that I feel like was particularly notable from Lollipop. And he didn't have a bad game, it's just in comparison to what we've come to expect from him, it really wasn't enough. Well, these were the moments that basically came down to the last few seconds that ended up, like this clutch, for example, that ended up giving Hard Legion the match. So an uncomfortable position for Nemiga to be in, but you know what they say, Alex? The best series always do seem to end on Inferno.
Yeah, this one's already been so close on the first two maps as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Inferno ends up being really tight between these two. That clutch from Spiidi to begin overtime was really well played, but the rest of Nemiga not able to step up around him. I think this round was one that really turned the tides as well. For Hard Legion to come back into this one without losing a single man from the 3v5, just landing every shot, getting every read right, getting every angle. A bunch of close rounds towards the end here, but Hard Legion just having the edge in a bunch of these clutch scenarios and a bunch of these close rounds. And then this round, I couldn't even keep track of everything, because Box is landing jumping shots, Spiidi landed an insane shot. Yeah, he hits him with the pistol, it comes so close, but it is Hard Legion who take us to a third. And once again, kinqie has been so impressive. He's been the biggest overperformer for me on the Hard Legion side throughout this tournament, because there's been quite a few maps where he's been top fragging.
Well, yeah, the other thing as well is we now go on to Inferno, where it's basically the map where he has been his best. Like, he's been his most impressive. So the fact that he's just dropped 32 kills in with 1 overtime, it is pretty damn good. And considering that Krad had some high impact plays, they had some decent performances from Rage as well. I'm almost starting to favor them going into the third and final map, because we've not really said that throughout every single match they played, but they seem to just grind it out. They seem to get it over the line, and it's ever so impressive to continuously watch them basically fight uphill to bring these games home. Of course, you do have to now mention the fact that they were, what, 12 rounds up on the last map and could have closed us in 2. They could be the ones celebrating as well. So at this point, we could have seen either team lifting the trophy, lifting the Hell Cup, I guess you could say. And, well, we're going to have to wait for the third and final map to decide it.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Here on Mirage, it was another close one, but Inferno, you can see, pretty good for both teams. Quite a few close games in there as well. I think Nemiga had that one loss we saw against Sprout, which was, you know, a little weak from them. Whereas over on the Hard Legion side, they actually beat Sprout earlier, 16-14. So even a matchup between them going the way of Hard Legion, 16-13 in there. But really, you just look at the Hard Legion side. Basically, all those games were close, except for the one against forZe, where forZe had a really big underperformance and just looked lost in some of those rounds. So just for the most part, I'm expecting a really close affair here. And if it does come down to a close game, that's where Hard Legion seem to just win these rounds, which actually just about puts them over the edge.
Well, either way, as I said before, there's only one way to find out who's going to be the champion. It's Inferno. It's a third and final map. And we'll be back after a short break.